How we doing? I am your host, Robert T. Gardner Jr., also known as Dr. Rob. Welcome to Station BOB. And let me tell you a little about thee. I am a kid from a Harlem hood who turned out good. I got educated like I should. Now I know how to help you grow to become the best of your being in life, love, and work. With that said, I am here to provide you with some clarity associated with the perplexity of the challenges in your life, love, and work. So, without further ado, let's get down on it. Enjoy the show. Yes. How we doing? Once again, my friend. Welcome to Station BOB, where you listen to learn how to become the best of your being in life, love, and work. And of course, I am your host, Dr. Rob. What's going on? It's an interesting time of year. We are approaching the end of 2022 and embarking upon a new year, 2023. Happy New Year's to you and yours. And of course, I just want to say thank you for your continued support of Station BOB. This is my 72nd episode, podcast number 72. I just want to thank you so much for your support. You know, just in case you didn't know, it takes a lot to put on 72 podcasts and counting. But I love every second, every minute of the time I spend with you, and more importantly, the time you spend with me. And so, moving right along to today's topic. I think this is an interesting topic, and it has to do with the idea that, saying sorry does not fix everything. A real apology warrants a change of behavior. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Just saying sorry all the time for sometimes some of the worst things that we can do to one another. Sorry does not and cannot fix everything. But before I take a deep dive into this discussion, I just want to wish you a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. And hopefully we can stay safe in a very dangerous world as we seek to do the things we enjoy when we leave our homes to go to the mall, to go out to eat, to drink, and be merry. So now, with that said, let's get into the discussion on tap for today. I have been wanting to talk about this topic for quite some time now, because just like me, I am sure you have experienced either the same person or so many other people who have done something wrong to you, and they continue to just merely apologize. I'm sorry. And in their minds, that's enough to make everything all right and to keep things moving. Or in some cases, there are people who do not apologize at all for some of the crazy things they bring or that they do to us. But for this discussion, we are not talking about those folks. This podcast discussion is centered around those who continue to violate, and the violations can either be real bad or they are worsening as they continue to happen. And yet, there are some people, which includes family, and friends who continue to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they think that everything is cool. Right? Wrong. I'm here to say that sorry, or the act of apologizing, does not always, and in some cases, it cannot fix everything. For instance, if your brother or sister has sex with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your spouse, as far as I'm concerned, a mere apology cannot fix that. At least not immediately following, the act of doing such or committing such a wrong. I mean, what you say to that? It seems to me that a quick, "Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake," from your brother, your sister, or best friend who had sexual relations with your intimate partner, that will not bring instant healing to you. Nor will that quick apology help you to move forward feeling much better about them, since you received an apology by these people for their egregious and flagrant violation of, we have these unwritten family or friend codes that we should know automatically to stay away from the person you love, the person I love. But no, they violated anyway. And now they have apologized, and everything in their mind is supposed to be all right going forward. Well, I say hell no to that. Hell to the no for that. Everything is not all right with that and cannot be all right with that. Because as I said before, sorry cannot fix everything, and it may not even be applicable. Just a mere apology may not even apply to every wrongdoing that somebody does to us. Now, let me just state for the record, I'm not talking about forgiving or not forgiving. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the idea that, people violate us and do things, and they say sorry, and you want an apology. But the point here is that just the mere act of apologizing or saying that you're sorry, sometimes that just does not fit the bill. It doesn't fit. It does not make things all right. Sorry cannot fix everything. For instance, my wife and I, we've come up with a saying that goes like this. Just say, and sometimes we just fooling around with this, but, she may do something or I may say something that offends her or annoys her. And so we say to one another, apologize and recognize for what you did wrong, which means that we both understand that sorry is not enough. But also, if you recognize and accept responsibility for what you did or what you said, then that would it would be considered that you understand that what you did, carries a little more weight than, just what a mere apology can wipe away. And so if you recognize, the wrongdoing based on your behavior and acknowledge that means that you will accept responsibility, you own it, and perhaps you will not do it again. You feel me? So we came up with this idea because we both understand that sometimes an apology or simply saying I am sorry is just not enough, especially if you keep doing the same thing wrong. As a matter of fact, being married this is when this really comes into play, because being married, it's important to put, a more weighted value on your apology, I think, because of the fact that we are with our spouses all of the time, or a lot of time we spend with our spouses. And the likelihood of doing something wrong, something hurtful, and so on is increased tenfold. Therefore, putting some more into, your apology as a married person may be warranted, due to the fact that over time, you never know how your spouse will either carry the hurt or let go of the hurt, depending on how the two of you have managed, that apology challenge. And so to apologize and recognize what you did wrong may go a long way in helping to bring some healing to your spouse, that a simple apology or saying I am sorry all the time, it just may not be able to do that, may not be able to erase or wipe away, what that person is feeling or what they were hurt by. And so that takes us to the real point of this discussion. And that is, how many times can you apologize for making the same mistakes? Or what can you do to demonstrate to a person or persons that you are really sorry, and ensure that your apology is a real apology, and that you will not violate or hurt the person you hurt the same way again? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. You see, because I have the answer. How about a change in behavior that will demonstrate the act of a real apology? Now, you might ask, what do you mean by a change in behavior to demonstrate a real apology? What do you mean by that, Dr. Rob? Well, for instance, if you missed some very important family events due to your busy schedule, then learn how to be more organized. Create a things to do list. Prioritize your schedule. Mark things down on your calendar. If your sloppiness at home creates issues in your relationships and the house is never clean the way your spouse or intimate partner would like it to be clean before you all have company, then participate in the cleanup. Help out around the house. You understand? A mere apology does not fix everything. Sometimes a change of behavior may be warranted. For instance, if you lie a lot, stop lying. If you have not been available in times of need, make yourself available. Move some things around on your schedule. If you have been rude and disrespectful, then learn how to stop and think before you speak, before you act, so you get better outcomes related to your behavior and or the things you say and do. You see, it is imperative that we all become more aware of the hurt we may inflict upon our loved ones or people in general, because to continue to say I'm sorry over and over again for the things we do may not always simply make the pain or the hurt go away for those we say sorry to. In other words, the mere gesture of an apology may not always heal the hurt we may cause for our loved ones. And I have a saying, and that saying, it applies to love, and it's similar to what I'm talking about here. You see, with regard to love, people are always running around telling each other, I love you. Girl, you know I love you. Stop playing. I love you, baby. You know I love you. But then we cheat on each other. We beat on each other. And then we tell the person that we just beat on or cheated on that we love them. But, B-U-T, how could that be love when we do things that hurt so bad and make each other feel so sad? Think about that. Is that love? Or is that pain? With that said, I'm going to step aside and let a promo in, and we'll pick up this discussion on the other side of the break.
Have you read any good books lately? Your host, Robert T. Gardner Jr., also known as Dr. Rob, is the author of 3 great books. In his first book, The Choices We Make, Robert takes a look at relationships to help readers learn how to have a good relationship with themselves before they can have good relationships with others. In his second book, Access Denied, Robert brings an eye-opening perspective about what happens to children and fathers when their relationships with the mothers of their children end on bad terms. Robert explores what he calls child porn, when a parent, usually the mother, uses a child as a weapon to hurt the other parent. Robert provides a let-go lab in his book to help parents find positive ways to resolve their issues in the best interest of their children. Light Up Your Life is Robert's latest book. Robert writes about the fact that we are all born with a special God-given talent. Even though we are all born with a special talent, most of us miss our true calling. In this book, you will learn how to find your special talent and light up your life so that you can become the person you were born to be and live a more fulfilled, purpose-driven life. Books are available at barnesandnobles.com, amazon.com, and Robert's website, relationshipreadiness.org. Thank you, and back to the show.
Okay, welcome back. And as I was saying just before I stepped aside to let the promo in, you know, we often just dish out apologies, no matter what the level or degree of the pain. We dish out these apologies with the expectation that that's supposed to just wipe away how I feel about what you did or what you said. And it's just like, love, how we just so easily say that, to our loved ones, I love you. And then we beat on each other or cheat on each other. And so if we're beating on and cheating on our loved ones, that's not love. And so as I said before the break, how could that be love when the things that we do hurt so bad and make each other feel so sad? Love is not supposed to hurt, okay? And so, to that I say, love is an action, not a word. What do I mean by that? I mean that our love should be demonstrated by what we do to make each other happy instead of by what we say. I mean, it's cool to say, girl, I love you. Girl, I love you. Yes, I love you. I love you. It's cool to say that. Nothing wrong with that. But it's even more important to demonstrate love by our actions, because in many cases our words do not match our actions. And just like love is not a word, it is an action, and it is not supposed to hurt. An apology, or simply saying you are sorry for any and all of the pain you may cause to a loved one, is just not enough. Sometimes to heal the pain of those we hurt is just not enough. So it is time to take heed to the fact that we may need to do a little more to take care of the feelings of the people we love, and understand that every mistake we make, Every heartache we cause, every headache we activate may not be healed, or the issue may not be resolved by the mere fact that you said you are sorry. Yep, I said it. Sometimes sorry is not enough. Just like saying I love you, and then I cheat on you. I think Toni Braxton said it best in her hit song about 30 years ago. She had a song entitled Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night. In other words, love is in action. If you love me, then you come home at night. You don't stay out all night, overnight, and don't call me. Love is not a word. You complete the sentence. It's in action. Therefore, if you want to make a true apology to the people you hurt or for the mistakes you made, please understand that some things, please understand that sometimes what we do may warrant a change in our behavior in addition to an apology. And you must learn to apologize and recognize what you did, what you said. And that way you can learn from your mistakes and not cause the same pain, the same headache, and or the same heartache. You feel me? As you know, we are approaching a new year. I spoke on this earlier, and it is a good time to try some new things, a new way to apologize with a change of behavior to commence demonstrating, real apologies to the people we love, because it is important to remember a mere apology may not heal the pain. If you wreck your father's car, steal money from your mother, cheat with your brother or sister's boyfriend or girlfriend, and or cause great embarrassment to someone you love, saying sorry just does not fix everything. So now is the time to become more aware of how to apologize and understand that the mere words of an apology may not always be enough to erase the pain or hurt that you caused. The apology should match the cause of hurt or pain. And the only way that can happen is to change your behavior regarding your hurtful ways. The change of behavior is what will clearly demonstrate to those we hurt that we are truly sorry because we stopped doing the things we do or did that caused us to be sorry in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong here. There is always a need to apologize when we do wrong, when we make mistakes, when we hurt each other's feelings, and so on. However, apologies seem more applicable, to some of the minor violations that occur in our everyday lives. But when the act or thing that happened warrants an apology for something that was very hurtful, as I have already pointed out, then by all means, a change of behavior may be the solution. And the answer for what it might take to demonstrate a true apology to the person or persons that you may have hurt. I mean, what say you? What are your thoughts about that? I hope that makes sense to you, because I know for me, somebody constantly apologizing for making the same mistakes and doing the same things that result in painful disappointment for me does not help, to help me heal as to how I feel. And when we can get away with just a mere apology for serious violations, then no true healing may come from that. At times, that shallow expression of remorse. Oh, I'm sorry. That just may not be enough all the time. So take that into your new year. Understand that some things we do when it comes to others that may not turn out so well may require more than a mere apology, because saying sorry in and of itself cannot fix everything. You feel me? And on that note, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope you got something out of this discussion. Then, if not, I am sorry. And I apologize and recognize. And you do the same the next time you do something wrong to the person who was hurt by your actions. Until we meet again, my friends, stay safe, make good choices, and I will see you on my next podcast. Thank you for your continued support, and I have a lot of top topics to discuss with you next year. Like, for instance, is it okay not to love a parent? What about this? Children think how they feel, and they feel how they think. Yeah, that's a real tongue twister right there. And the unwritten rules of life, just to mention a few. With that said, I want to wish you and yours a happy and healthy new year. Remember, these days, no place seems to be safe, but stay as safe as you can to enjoy the life we live. And on that note, I'm going to bid you adieu, and I'll talk to you later. Peace. As we wrap up this show, I hope this topic helped you to grow. And now you know a little bit more than you knew before. If you have any questions about this topic, please email me at changeagentrtg@gmail.com. See my website, relationshipreadiness.org, to learn more about my counseling, consulting, and educational programs related to life, love, and work. Finally, in the words of the late, great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., if I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody he is traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain. Until we meet again, do the right thing when nobody is looking. Peace, beloved.